Hey, I'm Zach.
He's still Zach. I'm Brandon.
And we're
The Bourbon
Bros. So today we have Booker's 2023 and 2024.
You like this one.
I love Booker's 2023.
Now, let's be honest. This is your first Booker's, right?
This is my first Booker's.
No, it's my first time since my first time.
I've had the 2024.
Yeah.
But I really think 2023 is definitely better.
So listen, I feel that both of these are really good. I like the 23. It's really good. It's probably the best one that we've had in recent memory until the 24.
Oh, shit. The literal next one.
Literally got better with age. Or less age, perhaps.
So,
let's dive in. Let's get right to the point. We poured two up. We've got 23 on the left, 24 on the right. I tend to lean towards the 24, and Zach tends to lean towards the 23.
okay. Should we start with the 2023?
Do it.
Should we cheers on it? Oh my gosh. Man. I don't know what it is about the Bookers, but for some reason I feel like the Bookers is like a step above. I don't know if it's because it comes in this silly little box.
What I would say about this is Booker's, for me, punches heavy. And sometimes it punches in the wrong direction historically.
Okay.
Probably for like the last couple of years.
Interesting.
It's punched too heavy in certain areas and not enough in others. I think that the plume, not the pume, the plume that you get on a Booker's is almost unmatched.
Yeah,
I'd say Jack Daniel's
It's huge.
single barrels.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest you can get to a Booker's plume.
The 2023, the nose is exquisite. So
Any nose
Any
notes?
notes? Yeah. So I'm smelling like it. I almost feel like it's gonna be velvety already. Like it's heavy on the nose. I can
thick.
almost taste it as I
Dense.
smell it. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very thick.
Oh God, I can taste it!
I would say it has kind of a little bit of a mineral smell, maybe some nuttiness in there as well.
Totally. So this, to me, exudes full experience Jim Beam all the way through. I'm getting all the peanut you could imagine on this one here.
Yeah. It's oh my gosh. I just added a little sip, preemptively, premature.
That's good. That's very, very good. So that gives me that cinnamon flavor that I expect on a Booker's.
Cinnamon,
Yep.
hard cinnamon, and it's not even like a sweet candy cinnamon. It's like a very like cinnamon stick feel.
Have you ever chomped on a cinnamon stick?
I haven't actually.
It's very spicy.
That's an interesting thing to do. Why would you do that?
Okay, all right, if we're going to go there. My first job, believe it or not, was working for a company called The Spice House.
Okay.
So I used to have to grind down cinnamon from bark. It's actually bark on a tree. Grind it down, and you kind of chomp on some cinnamon.
Interesting. Just to get just to understand it. That's smart. That's smart. That's smart.
I agree, though. That does taste like a very natural cinnamon flavor.
Yep.
It's full. If Booker does anything right, it goes all the way on all of its flavors.
Yeah. What are you thinking chew-wise? Are you feeling like this is oily?
I think that I think the nose and the flavor probably give me more than perhaps
The finish?
Yeah, I think so. More than the finish. Actually, the finish is good. The mouthfeel isn't quite as viscous as I'd like.
Sure. It's giving me pretty good chew. Like I would say it's like a medium to almost heavy. It lingers quite some time. It gives me a nice little bit of warmth. I like that.
Yeah, the finish is great.
Yeah, the finish is great. The flavor, I think actually the flavor, now that I'm having it again, could maybe use a slight bit of sweetness. A little bit more than what it's delivering right now.
Yeah.
I think it's more spice than it is sweet.
So just shy of 130. So
It's heavy.
127.8.
Okay.
Yep. So
Wow.
I hope that it has some degree of finish. But for me, if I was going to say it, this could improve anywhere. Just a little bit on the mouthfeel. I want something a little bit more oily, something that coats the palate just a little bit more.
Okay.
Nose is great, flavor's good, very full, a little more chew.
Yeah. How much does Booker's cost even?
So MSRP on this is around 90. We paid about a 125 each.
So should we transfer over to the 2024?
Yeah, I like to call it the winner, but yeah, we can move over. Let's do it.
2024, the purple one.
We didn't acknowledge color. I think they're relatively similar, but I mean that's a beauty, right? Like if you were at a restaurant trying Booker's for the first time and you had that, that's the perfect golden amber.
They're like the same color.
Yeah. No, I'm saying they're both the same.
Oh,
I'm saying
yes.
Booker's as a whole.
Booker's as a whole,
Yeah.
beautiful color. It's the color of their box. It's nice and dark.
It's not bad. That's pretty close. Would you say that's a golden kind of amber? Somewhere in between there?
More towards that amber than a gold almost.
You know what I think of?
Almost like a brown.
You've seen Jurassic Park?
I've seen all of them, I think.
You remember the mosquito?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That? You remember
Oh,
that amber sitting
yeah.
in?
Yeah, the thing on the
that color right there,
on
dude.
the staff or whatever.
It's the color right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Mosquito free, but you know. What I appreciate about the 24 is it does what this does,
Okay.
but it doesn't do it to the point where it's like in your face.
Sure.
It takes the beauty and the essence of this and just kind of dials it back a little bit.
The essence.
Yeah, the essence. You don't feel the essence of that?
It makes me think of Friends when he takes the cushions out of the chair and he's like,
jeez.
that's the essence of the chair.
Here we go. It takes everything that's good
Okay.
in here
Yeah.
and makes it more palatable.
Okay. It doesn't have as much of a plume, but it has a good nose.
Yeah, I agree. I think it takes it dials back the heaviness, which is sometimes hard to sort through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're flying a plane through a rain cloud, it kind of feels a little hard to see the end. I feel
Yeah.
like this kind of eliminates that and it just lets you see what's going on.
Interesting metaphor.
Analogy.
Analogy.
Yep.
All right. Words. I'm almost wanting to convince you that they're the best in the individual ways. Like I wouldn't say I think yes, you're right on the essence thing with the plume and the nose. And maybe I'm just at a point where I really like the plume where it's almost the plume if the plume is so much that I feel like I can almost drink it through my nose that I like it.
You're tasting it through your nostrils.
Yeah, like I'm tasting it through my nostrils.
I get that. So I don't disagree with you. I think it is different. I think this is heavy on the cinnamon. This almost feels a little more like rye forward.
Yeah, I would say it's not as cinnamony. Yeah, it's a spice.
Yeah, like maybe even more towards the nutmeg side of baking spices.
Yeah, it's a little more subtle of a spice, but it's definitely hit on a spice note.
So can I bring it home?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna flip Zach to the other side.
Full flip.
Oh no, he's not. He's not gonna flip me anywhere.
So recently Zach's been talking about how he's got this appreciation for bourbons that are delivering on flavor and texture, and also to some degree the
Is it a
nose,
lower
right?
proof?
It is slightly lower, but what I will say this. You ready? This is a more rounded bourbon that does not require as much proof. I think that this punches incredibly heavy, and it does well at what it does. But I think this does equally well and doesn't require the same amount of intensity. And I think it delivers an experience.
I would say this one has more plume and more punch to the heat.
Yep.
This one has it has that same spice but in a different way.
Agreed.
Not as much plume and less of a punch, more of a smoothness.
I think it dials it back a little bit and allows you to kind of experience more of the juice. This is great for whiskey lovers. I think if you love whiskey, you're gonna love this because it's gonna give you like the far corner, right? It's gonna you're touching on the extremes with this kind of bourbon.
Yeah, I
This
think
has just got a little more to it, a little more rounded.
you put together a great case, wonderful case actually, and I think that they both really hold their own, and everybody should have a taste of these.
Agreed.
But I think I'm still team 2023 on this one.
I agree. It's better.
That was a hard flip.
I'm Brandon,
And I'm Zach.
and we're the Bourbon Bros.